Hey there, everyone. Today's topic is something that I've talked about before, and I'm going to keep talking about it because it is extremely important to us here at the People Stack as a company, as an organization whose mission is to liberate technical managers from mediocre careers. And it's also extremely important to helping our clients and to making sure that everyone who goes through our program sees results. And that topic that I'm going to be talking about today is extreme ownership. So yes, it's a great book. Jocko Willink, former Navy SEAL, has a great quote that I include in some of my trainings that you may have seen. There's no bad teams, only bad leaders. And so if you've not read Extreme Ownership, highly recommend it. You are going to be able to take the principles that they talk about in that book and be able to apply it not only to your career, but also to the rest of your life as well. It's one of those books that if you truly embrace it and apply it and take action from it and not just have it sit in your bookshelf or your virtual bookshelf and your Kindle books, if you actually apply it, it's going to make such an extreme difference. Extreme ownership will make an extreme difference in your life if you apply it and take action. So that's the topic I want to talk about today. And the question that I have for you is, are you taking enough extreme ownership to command a 200K plus salary as a technical manager? And I want you to really think about this before you answer. Because if you're not getting the results that you want, out of your career, out of your leadership at work, then I can almost guarantee you that one of the reasons why is because you're not taking enough extreme ownership. And that's why I want you to really soak it in. In what ways can I take more extreme ownership? Because we could all do that more often. We can all do it more often. As an example of this in our company, we had a person who was working for us, was working out really well for a time, and then it started to not work out so well. So Rob and I did decide to let this person go and move on to other things. And we hired a new person who is awesome and is doing great in that role. And it was a gut check moment for me when we let this person go, because I wanted to take extreme ownership here. And it's like, all right, here's a test. What will this look like in this moment? Because if I didn't take extreme ownership, it was that person's fault. That person kept screwing up, kept making mistakes. And of course that person should have been fired. But there's no bad teams, only bad leaders. So I took a look at it and I said, what could I have done better as a leader that may have created a better space for this person to thrive? So I still decided to let this person go because we both believed that it would be better to move on, to have this person move on. But it's still a moment of, all right, I have a new opportunity here to hire someone new. What am I going to do differently? How am I going to take extreme ownership here out of how how I relate to our team members? And so we changed some of the processes. We've upgraded some of the processes in terms of increased communication. That if one of our team members does something wrong and makes a mistake, I don't see it as their fault. I see it as my fault. It's my team. It's my business. What did I do wrong? How am I going to learn from that and do better? That's the way that you take ownership from a team building perspective, from creating a place, a team where your team really thrives. Is what did I do wrong? What can I do better? You can always do better. So yes, you also want to make sure that your team is learning as well. And what's the best way to get them to adopt that mindset of lifelong learning? How do I learn? How do I grow? It's to model that behavior. To constantly ask yourself the question in front of them, what can I learn? What did I learn from this? How can we grow? Because if you're always just pointing the finger and saying, you did this wrong and you got to do better next time, and here's all the mistakes that you made, that's not going to that's not going to create an environment where people are empowered to do better. Do you learn? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying to just wave off mistakes and say, it's no problem, and then move on. You learn from it. You don't rub it in their faces, right? And so that's what extreme ownership is about too, is about saying, all right, there's really no fault here, and if there's any fault, it's mine because I'm the leader. I'm the leader, and I apologize, and I'm sorry that I didn't do this, that I didn't follow up, that I didn't make it clear, that we don't have the systems in place in order to do this, that I didn't talk to the CEO about this when I should have, whatever it might be. So that's what taking extreme ownership at work looks like. And then, for your team and in your leadership. And then how do you take extreme ownership of your career? That's what people don't talk about enough. There's plenty of talk about leadership and how to be a better leader. But really, at the end of the day, why do you want to be a better leader? So you can have a better career, so you can learn, so you can grow and create those opportunities to create even more of an impact in the world. So what does taking extreme ownership on your career look like? And are you doing that? Are you fighting through the rejection and the failure, or are you simply just curling up into a ball and saying, oh, I'm not worth it? Oh, imposter syndrome. That must be it. Is fear, is failure, is rejection, our imposter syndrome real? Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to try and argue that they're not, although that's another philosophical discussion. But the question is, are you going to let it steal your power? Are you going to take extreme ownership and say, all right, imposter syndrome, I'm going to kick you in the nuts? You know what I mean? Because that's how you move on, and that's how you move forward. Taking extreme ownership in your career means, finally having those, what might be very difficult, high stakes conversations about, hey boss, I want to talk about that raise. I want to talk about that raise that I was promised. I want to talk about my career goals in getting a promotion and how I can add more value to this company, and having that conversation. That's what taking extreme ownership is. So if you're not doing those things, having those difficult yet empowering and career building conversations at least once a day, if not more than that, then you're not taking extreme ownership. Because probably what you're doing, instead of doing that, you might say, well, I don't have the time. I don't have the energy to have those conversations. Well, that's because you're spending time and energy on stuff that doesn't work. You're reading leadership books, but you're not applying them. You're browsing through Slack posts, but you're not really soaking it in and thinking about, oh, wow, that's me. That's me too. And I want to connect with that person. And I want to move this conversation forward. You're just scrolling through them and laughing at people. And the reason that you're laughing at them, though, is because, that's you, but you won't admit it. Or you're wasting time going to, training workshops, and maybe that you're forced to go to, right? We all get that email. HR says, I need to go, you need to go to this training, mandatory training on Wednesday, and you're going to that training, or maybe you sign up for a training on your own, or you go to some of the free trainings that are available. Maybe you do, I can't think of the name of it. There's actually a lot of great ones, like free ones in the community. The one for speaking, for public speaking, it's escaping my mouth right now. It won't come out, but there's, a lot of communities have it where you can go and you can learn how to public speak well. Or you might even invest time. Oh, Toastmasters just came to me. As soon as I decided, it doesn't matter, it came to the tip of my tongue. So Toastmasters, stuff like that, you may be going, but are you really invested in it? Are you really showing up? Are you really taking extreme ownership of doing that? And you may have invested money in other, it might be leadership coaching or training or workshops or other things like that, but you're not getting value out of them, either because they're terrible, they exist, or because you're not really showing up and saying, I want to learn. How can I grow? I'm gonna empty my cup. I'm gonna empty my metaphorical cup of knowledge, of skills, of abilities, and of everything that I've gained over this wonderful, wonderful career. Taking all the letters after my name, taking all of that knowledge that I have and emptying it and going into it that way and say, please teach me. I want to learn. That's what taking extreme ownership looks like from a training perspective, from a learning perspective. So if you're not doing all of those things in your leadership, and as a leader and in your career, you're not taking extreme ownership. And so that's what we're all about here at the People Stack, is empowering our clients to do that and giving them strategies and the system and the much needed support in order to move forward, because it's not easy. Taking a long, hard look in the mirror and realizing that the one person who is holding you back from reaching your career goals, from reaching that career dream, the one person that's holding you back is staring right back at you. And so that's an aha moment for a lot of people. But it's empowering, because guess what? That means you have the keys. You have the keys to that career dream kingdom. You have the keys to that car that is going to help you to accelerate your path toward that dream career for you. Once you realize that, yeah, it's like, oh man, I screwed up so much. Oh man. And so you could stay there and be like, oh man, this just must mean I'm not good enough and I can't do this. And of course, and nobody loves me and blah, 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 blah. You could stay there if you want. Or you could say, you know what? If I'm the one that created this mess, I'm the one that's going to get me out of it. I created it. And so what we do here at the People Stack is we give you the how. So a lot of times people want to have these conversations. They want to get out of the mess. They want to get unstuck from their career. But they want to be empowered. They want more than anything to be empowered to do it, but just don't have a system that they know is going to work. So that's what we do. We give our clients that system. That if you follow it, You will get there. I can't guarantee when, no magic wand. I can't just say, poof, here's that dream job. Poof, you just had a fabulous conversation with your boss and he's going to give you a 20% raise. The outcomes are there, the outcomes happen, but it's not because I waved a magic wand. It's not because you waved a magic wand. It's because you showed up and you finally, for reals, took extreme ownership of your career. So if that's what you want to do, and you want the support to be empowered to do it, and the system, the step-by-step system to be empowered to do that, then go ahead and book a call with our team. thepeoplestack.com/talk. So we're going to map out a plan so you can walk the path toward your dream career, and we'll show you how to do that. But I want you to be aware, though, and it sometimes takes people off guard, so I want you to be aware that we are going to drop some massive truth bombs during that call. We are going to have you take a long, hard look in the mirror, because there is only one person to blame for the fact that you're not where you want to be in your career right now. And that person is staring back at you. And if you're ready to make that realization, if you're ready to take ownership of that, then we're here to support you. We're here to support you however we can. So go ahead, book a call with our team today, thepeoplestack.com/talk. And more than anything, ask yourself the question, not just, am I taking enough extreme ownership to really upgrade my career and command a premium salary? But also, what more can I do? How can I take even more extreme ownership that I'm already taking that's going to bring me to the next level in my career and in my life so that I can have even more of an impact than I'm having now? Ask yourself these hard questions, and I promise that on the other side of that, it's going to inspire you to take actions that you had never thought you were capable of, but you do it anyway. If you want some help with that, again, book a call with our team, thepeoplestack.com/talk. All right, that's it for the day, folks. See you on Friday.